Alright, hello
Dyer's
everybody.
turn to ban.
We've got another great WLDL matchup on deck for tonight. It is Mudboys versus PuppsPals. Sange Division, Week 4. There is a lot of competition for the top of the Sange Division, and these two teams are right in the mix of it. Mudboys at a 6-0 record, PuppsPals at 5-1. So this should be a pretty exciting matchup.
It is Dyer's ban.
Got our first few bans coming out, Razor and Lena. Very common
turn to ban.
first phase picks or bans. So we like seeing those wiped off the table to start things out. Void Spirit gonna get banned out next. That's an interesting first phase ban. Let me see, is that something Mudboys
5 seconds
drafted in the first phase before? It
is. Must choose.
Mudboys picked this up. They've played it a couple games against Sad Boys and No Limits, and they did pick it up on 8 in one of their wins against Sad Boys. Dawnbreaker gonna get banned out next.
10 seconds.
By PuppsPals.
5 seconds remain.
Mudboys against PuppsPals. This is a hero PuppsPals have picked in the first phase in all 6 of their games. So this is gonna be the first time we don't see a Dawnbreaker from PuppsPals. That is pretty exciting. And they're going to open it up with Vengeful Spirit. They've used this in a few of their games already. It's like 3 out of 6 of their games, and they often open with it. Actually, 4. They've
Radiant's turn to pick
as well. I'm going to answer it with a Lich, which is also a support PuppsPals have gone to pretty often. I like this. Both pair of supports that are pretty strong to start off your drafts with.
5 seconds remain.
Vengeful Spirit, very versatile for initiation, disable, and save.
Dyer's turn to pick.
Lich, super high damage, and then you add in a Pudge. So you've got a lot of reposition in this game off the bat. Even Lich has that pull from Sinister Gaze. So all 3 heroes on the board so far have a way to reposition enemy heroes, and 2 of them have a way to reposition ally heroes. So this is going to be a fun one to try to keep track of. These fights are going to be super chaotic, with only seeing 3 of the 10 heroes that are going to be in this game. So this is where we'd expect to see a Dawnbreaker from PuppsPals. So I'm very interested to see what they end up going with here. They did have 1 game without Dawnbreaker, and they went Slardar for their offlane, it looks like. So we can see that. It's a decent fight. So they're going to focus on lane domination, have some break built in to help chew through a Pudge. I like this pickup. I'm curious, have Mudboys played the Pudge? Pudge has been a very versatile hero. You can play it both support and core. It does not look like they've played Pudge yet. So I'm very curious to see where this Pudge lands. I think it works really well as an early draft pick because of that versatility. If PuppsPals go hard into countering the Pudge, then you can just put it on support, not worry about the fact that like your support's not going to have a great game. If they don't and it looks open enough, then you can put it on position 1 or position 2, rush that Nags, and become an incredibly difficult hero to deal with.
10 seconds remain.
Ursa and Phantom Lancer, first set of bans.
5 seconds. It is Radiant's ban.
And then the Morphling. So a lot of carries getting picked out of the draft to start. in this second phase.
10 seconds
I think
remain.
we've seen a Morphling from Mudboys before.
5 seconds.
No, I'm wrong. I must be thinking of another team. Dude, I'm curious why that Morphling ban comes out. It might be something that one of their opponents play. I don't have all of that info in front of me. I do have some of that for PuppsPals because my team has played against them. Cheat to see if this will give me any more information in this one.
10 seconds. 5 seconds remain. Radiant's turn to ban.
Ember Spirit going to be the last ban of the second phase for PuppsPals. So Ember and Morph have both high mobility carry type heroes that can be played in the safe lane or mid lane. I know Ember's been seeing more play in mid lane lately. I'm less sure about Morph playing. I haven't seen
5 seconds remain.
And similar for Mudboys banning the Shadow Fiend, not necessarily a mobile hero, but a hero that's comfortable carrying from the safe lane or in the mid lane. Let's see. Yeah, that is a hero that PuppsPals 1 has been playing recently.
Radiant must choose.
Relatively recently, looking back at my research from before our series against them at the start of the season. Spectre is going to be the last ban of the second phase. So yeah, pretty much all carry bans, even if it's not a proper safe lane carry, these are 6 heroes that will
remain.
Taken off the board. So definitely be interested to see. I expect both teams to pick up their carry in this phase. So to have more options to let more carries get better. Ooh, it's going to be a Primal Beast for Mudboys. So going very tanky now. With potentially their chorus, again, can be a support pudge. Primal Beast should be played, most often it's going to be played in mid
10 seconds
or
remain.
off lane. I've seen a little bit of position for Primal
5
Beast, but I don't think it's
remain.
Very popular. So I expect this to be a core. Yeah, that's going to be good catch. Threatens if PuppsPals are going to go a backline sort of carry or core, then that'll help them make sure they have tools for getting on top of that. In addition to the pudge hook.
Dire's turn to
so it makes it harder for PuppsPals to go more ranged heroes. Like, I feel like Mudboys' draft so far kind of soft bans like a Drow or a Sniper because they already have really good answers for those kinds of heroes.
10 seconds.
Alright, it's going to be Undying. Should be your position 5, and then the Venge
5
over
seconds.
On position 4. They played this Undying. I mean, Undying's been a really strong position 5. Creates a ton of pressure in lane, contributes a lot to team fights with the Tombstone, gives you something you have to answer. I wonder if that does open up Mudboys to grabbing something
Radiant's turn
like a Sniper.
I speak for the trees.
PuppsPals are going to go the Nature's Prophet, so they are going to find a ranged core that they like in the scenario. Not one that's super squishy, and one that has a decent amount of movement and escape with Sprout. So I feel like Nature's Prophet is going to handle like a Primal and a Pudge a lot better than a lot of ranged cores would. And I think this is a hero. Oh yeah, PuppsPals ran in their last series against Bridgeburners Anonymous. ran Dawnbreaker and Nature's Prophet as their first 2 picks, which is an incredibly mobile core pairing. So, definitely interested to see what they do. I like this pick a lot here. Also gives you setup into, like, Viper's Puddle. Not a ton... I guess if Viper goes Shard, then you can go kind of an auto-attack focused build with this. Not a ton of synergies with what Nature's Prophet likes to build of, like, a Desolator. Yeah, there was. They're gonna go Death Prophet. So they continue to go very durable for Mudboys. Which is good, because you have a ton of damage coming out from this Viper and Nature's Prophet, and even Venge and Undying are not low damage supports. And I expect to see PuppsPals pick up something pretty durable for what I assume is their mid laner. That will be their last pick. This Viper could move over to mid. I think even Nature's could move over to mid if he wanted. But I expect this will be 3 and this will be 1. Mudboys, it does look like, unless this Pudge is going to be position 1, we're leaving that for last. So probably going to see even more position 1 heroes taken out of the pool.
It is Radiant's ban.
PuppsPals are going to ban Hoodwink, so it looks like they are expecting this to be a core Pudge. I mean, you could play Hoodwink in the core role as well. Hoodwink is also a pretty decent answer to Nature's Prophet, having that mobility through trees.
10 seconds.
As well as being able to, like, if Nature's Prophet throws down Sprout, you can get a stun right off the bat with the Bushwhack. So maybe just worried about the counterplay there more than what they really expect this Mudboys draft to be doing. But I think the draft is still pretty open for Mudboys. They're going to ban out Sniper, which is interesting because I feel like Mudboys already has pretty decent answers to Sniper, but I guess they don't have, with this Death Prophet, which I expect to be mid, like, Primal Beast is their only dive, and I think a Sniper can handle a Primal Beast. I don't know. I wouldn't expect PuppsPals to pick a Sniper here. I honestly don't think they're going to pick, like, a farming hero. I think they're looking for, like, a playmaking position, too. Especially with this Viper and the 3, like, your only initiation right now is, like, Nature's Teleport in, which is okay, and, like, Swap Stun from Venge, which is okay, but you don't have,
10
like,
seconds.
I don't know, I think you could put this Viper mid and go, like, Tidehunter.
5 seconds.
In your offlane, for PuppsPals, you could do, like, I don't know if Quap looks good here with the amount of control Mudboys has, but something else like that. I mean, you have Void Spirit already banned out because Mudboys plays it a lot. I think it was... Oh yeah, it's Mudboys have like a level 30 Void Spirit player. That's why they're willing to pick it in the first phase, and that's why PuppsPals had to ban it in the first phase. It was really, really impressive showing in the last game of theirs that I cast. They're in Menozu, so they are thinking just like a backline, high damage mid hero is what PuppsPals will be looking for. We have seen PuppsPals play the Sniper mid as well. They beat my team, Looming
10 seconds remain.
But I think that was more of a
Wind Ranger at your service.
Ranger, so I think that will be your mid lane. Not a huge amount of dive or initiation, but I think with Nature's and Vengeful Spirit, you now have, like, a really good team to set up Ganks initiation, and then Viper and Undying to, like, hold down the fort.
5 seconds.
Not a ton of team fight for PuppsPals. Your only, like, big team fight spell is the Tombstone. It's gonna be a Spirit Breaker for Mudboys. Very, very interesting draft. I need to check what positions these players play, because I don't know Mudboys quite well enough to know exactly where these heroes are going to end up. So, let's see. Well, these aren't exactly the same players from their last match. Moose Style was offlane, so it's going to be an offlane Death Prophet, most likely. Ziggy G is the safe lane core, so this is a position 1 Pudge, which I kind of was thinking with the Spirit Breaker pick, and then Yams, I think is their mid laner. They weren't in the last match. Let me see if I can find it. If this is a mid Spirit Breaker, that's very spicy. Especially into the Wind Ranger. I feel like that's not a great matchup because you have, like, you can just throw down a Shackle Shot. I guess with the status resistance that Spirit Breaker has, that Shackle Shot does almost nothing. Like, it interrupts the charge, but you can just keep running forward. But that's enough time for, like, a Wind Ranger to win run away. I don't know. As far as hats, I'm really liking what both teams have going on here. I think I have to give the hat strap to both. I like this just burns on the Primal Beast. Like, I'm pretty sure you have to have gotten that quick set maybe you can pick up the Nature Nature Prophet's staff just has a rat hanging from it, though. Audio's a bit echoey. Interesting.
Prepare for battle.
My room, I could probably use some soundproofing in my room, honestly. Is it like the game audio echo? I mean, it's on a 5-minute delay, so we're not gonna a response very quickly. But let me know if it's like the game audio echoing or my voice echoing. If it's my voice, there's not a lot I can do. If it's the game audio, it might be an issue, and I can try like resetting.
Time for a little butchery!
Hopefully it's not too bad, though. Alright, it looks like PuppsPals are going to smoke down towards the bottom room. They're not going to find any heroes immediately. And the Treants are going to scout that out.
Just 30 seconds now. Consider yourself
so that my
warned.
voice is in game. To let myself see. There. They're going to sit on this high ground. The Mudboys kind of smell it out. I have a feeling they've watched enough of PuppsPals games to know that this movement was going to happen because they have not said anyone in that bottom jungle. And so I think we're going to get a full top-bottom split of these rooms.
Who will emerge victorious?
Yep, that is how it's going to go. So let's see where things end up lining up. So yeah, it looks like Sweet Pumagoo is going to be on the position 5, Undying Lady position 1, Nature's Prophet of Mort, will be J Money on the mid Wind Ranger for PuppsPals, and then the off lane for Pupps will be T Presentation on the Viper, and King Henry VIII's Divorce Attorney on the position for Vengeful Spirit. For the side of Mudboys, it's going to be Ziggy G on the position 1 Pudge,
Radiant's middle
Yen
tower
on
is under
the
attack.
position 5 Lich. It is going to be Yams on the mid Spirit Breaker. And then Moostyle on the position 3 Death Prophet, and Virginia Wolf on the position 4 Primal Beast. It's a very, very interesting draft for Mudboys. I'm very excited to see how this plays out for them. Much more duration draft for PuppsPals. Let's get our last hits going. As far as where we're gonna see I expect in this bottom lane is probably gonna be the scariest. You've got high kill potential with Viper Venge, but also Punch Up can just kill somebody if Ziggy G connects with one. And it's starting. I think it's one of the last hits. The top is where it looks like we're going to have our first blitz.
Hello,
very low, and Virginia
I'm Gabe Newell. You've just achieved first blood. Thanks and have fun.
Chopping down the trees. So the position for Primal is already putting in work.
Almost had that.
Spirit Breaker actually ahead in last hits. It's going to charge for just for the harass and to try to deny their range creep, does not manage to. But yeah, so far out in front, which is very impressive. I wouldn't expect this lane to be Spirit Breaker favored. I feel like that's a hero to go mid with. they picked it into this Wind Ranger, being able to be pretty confident that the Wind Ranger would be made, so they get the impression that this is a matchup they like. Charge forward from Virginia Wolf with the onslaught, dying off points, Mort's going to take the full damage of this trample. So Kuno answer with the tombstone to push Virginia Wolf away. But that's going to be all they get with it. So now Mudboys offlaning the play around, acknowledge the tombstone is down. It's going to give them a little bit more space on this lane to play a little more aggressively. Tombstone will expire before anything else happens. Keeping an eye on the health bars because up the top, because I feel like these are going to be decent transfer kill around the board. ZDG taking a lot of damage on the background. The hook going to come through on King Henry VIII and Boris of Germany. Not going to be enough. Now Yoden throws down a Frost Blast on King Henry VIII. One last auto attack will do it just before
Thanks for playing Dota 2.
But that will be a double kill for Team Presentation. So off to a good start for this Viper, sharing top of the last hit chart with the Spirit Breaker. I think it's overall very even. Other than Moose Style, only 6 last hits on this double kill. So despite the work being done, it's not as much farming getting done in the off lane.
Killing spree.
Ooh,
Radiant should
another
look
kill
to
picked
their
up.
middle tower.
Team presentation is that one. The Pudge is grabbing. Yeah, I think their Ring of Health from the Secret Shop got spotted by this ward heading over there, so they were able to pick up that kill without too much trouble. Grab the keeper on top of that kill as well. So this lane going pretty well for PuppsPals. Mid still favoring the Spirit Breaker by quite a bit, 22 and 12, but 21 and 17 now. We're really beating Moose Style on the last hits. So this Nature's Prophet is going to be scary off of that. They've got their courier. Just the finished tower treads. Things settle down a bit. Looks like nothing crazy.
Denied!
Items yet. Still pretty early in the game. Virginia Wolf. I think this is just a courier, yeah.
Has been killed.
Gonna snatch that up with the onslaught.
Someone lays blame.
Up there by Virginia Wolf. Games now hits level 6 first. It's gonna charge forward, but not gonna fully commit to the go. All in ZDG seems to be getting pushed off for the down at 10 last hits. Better name, nice sensor hits on Henry VIII.
A dominating performance.
Anyway. So they trade kills, but not the way you want when it's your position 1 or the enemy position 4. Does at least get all of the experience and kill gold for that, but is now not going to be able to find until they respawn.
Uproot and after them!
Pressure coming on the top Dire Tower. Yeah, already a 1k gold lead for PuppsPals with the way these side lanes are going. Spirit Breaker doing their best to keep things close. So they're ahead in the mid lane. I'd like to see some movements from the Spirit Breaker with this early lead. Might want to secure a kill on the Wind Ranger first if they can. It's going to be a tough ask. So you kind of have to get the charge into Nether Strike when they're already low, because as soon as Wind Ranger gets the wind run on, he's just out of there. And a little low down here, but things all map movements from any hero so far. Everybody's sticking in movements. Now Young Yan gotta be careful when he gets stunned up, and now we'll turn into a Sinister Gate with the hook, with the rot damage, so much coming out on Henry VIII. One last tower hit is going to secure the kill. Split among the Radiant. So a nice little pickup for Mudboys. They're gonna have to be careful. It's sitting a little low. This Viper is quite scary. So yeah, still pretty calm all around. Really, you've got good heroes for making moves. I mean, some of them are position 1, so they're not gonna want to go hunting for kills. It's actually about 2 levels up between Mort and PvP on this position 1s. Like, Pudge and Nature's Prophet are happy to make ganks, but his position 1s they're not going to want to go far away from their farm unless it's like a guaranteed kill that they're stealing. But Prime Beast I feel like could be making moves. Spirit Breaker having this lead. Here's going to be the charge top now. On just Sweet Puma. It's low on mana. They're going to try to set this up with an onslaught. PuppsPals seem to smell it. They get the vision with the wards. They're going to know this charge is coming through. Yam's going to be forced to cancel it. Now Jake
Mega kill.
Meanwhile, bot another pair of kills. Let's stay here for this way. Huge shadow shot onto Virginia Wolf and Moose
They're unstoppable.
Damage comes out
Double
from
kill.
the focus fires with double damage rate. So that's going to be a kill on Virginia Wolf for J-Money. So it ends up going Dyer's way with this rotation. So presentation is so low and going to get charged, but will TP away before it can connect. Once again, this ward doing so much work for PuppsPals here. Yeah, what happened? I'm not going to get much from that fight bot, but it looked like that amounted to another double kill for T-Presentation. Yeah, except Ziggy G and Yan again.
What can I
They
say?
once again
Nature
get
loves me.
For the dead.
in return, as topside now, Word gets the kill on Virginia Wolf, and Bluestyle's gonna go down as well. They'll trade Sweet and Pumadoo for it in the backline. Yam's picking up that kill. And Henry VIII not being able to TP in quite in time. Things looking to go even more PuppsPals' way. No, more firmly on top of their net worth lead, or last hit lead, switch over. So we exit the laning phase, all 3 cores for PuppsPals on top. Despite the last hitting,
That was unreal.
And I left. So some heroes moving around, Pudge trying to find safer farm, and good thing, the T-Presentation is on a 7-0 on this Viper. We've missed quite a few of these kills because they just keep coming. But this is T-Presentation putting on a show with this Viper off lane. So yeah, working on the Dragonlance, more attack-focused build, working on the Guardian Greaves. Game's gonna go Blade Mail. I like that into a lot of the damage that PuppsPals have. Ranger working on a Maelstrom, nothing surprising there. Ben's gonna opt for the Shard first. Has just some supporting, some courier. ZG finishes a Vanguard, probably feels pretty necessary in this game against the Nature's Prophet, Wind Ranger especially, and even the Viper, who is going somewhat attack
Radiant's
focused.
middle tower is under attack.
And Aether Lens, one of Lich's favorite items.
Illusion.
This style just finishing up those phase boots. Now here's going to be a rotation from Yams with the charge, presentation. Combo that with exorcism. Here they come charging through, gets the bash on the it's going to stop there. Huge damage on both of these swords. They go down quickly. Now they're going to look for the kill on T-Presentation. Yams has to be careful. All of that damage coming out from this Viper. Virginia Wolf looks like they'll go down, but Yams, can they bring down this massive Viper? They do, but J-Money is not going to let it go for nothing. And now Mort teleports in. It looks like it's going to be a kill on Blue Style as well.
Killing spree.
Spirit Siphon not going to be enough, and now picks it up. Killing spree for the Nature's Prophet.
Dyer's top
But
tower
a lot
is under
of
attack.
money going to Yams on
Radiant's
that.
bottom tower is in danger.
Pretty even, about 1,000 gold either way. Radiant's going for more. They're teleporting, trying to punch this tower push. Yuan immediately going to get shackled up. Mort, they can pick up this kill. It's another big one, and they do. Virginia Wolf gets the killing spree off of Mort. J-Money will be forced to retreat.
Radiant's
So really good
bottom
moves
tower
from
is under
Mudboys
attack.
to try to bring this game back within reason, keeping it very, very even. So that's going to give Ziggy G some more space. Then started off struggling to find space against this Viper, but now I think is getting more back into the game. Spirit Breaker, Yams right on the tail of the Wind Ranger, trying to break into that net worth lead, the 3 cores. The 3 heroes still position bot for Mudboys.
Denied.
Ziggy G both supports. And they're going to charge down here with Yams, going to run through Team Presentation, EJ Money, going to run away. And so they're going to turn towards Team Presentation instead. With 4 heroes here. That is going to be hurts for the Viper once again. Virginia falls low, and CG with a huge choke onto J-Money. Unfortunately, without this member available, it's not going to be enough. Also, top side, Mort did pick up a kill on Moostyle.
Radiant should look to their middle
Bit of a
tower.
rough go in this game so far, but still definitely in it. Wind Ranger, despite not dying there, that does allow Spirit Breaker and Pudge to move ahead of her net worth chart. It's still very even. Pretty much the entire goal difference is between Nature's Prophet and Death's Prophet. To look for a charge on the board. I mean, swap back if they try to retreat. Undying rotating in as well, so it's giving trouble here. Whips the Tombstone to stop their retreat, and it's going to be forced backwards now. Virginia Wolf, an onslaught forward, has Pulverize ready finally, but is just going to get blown up by the damage from the 8th and Nature's Prophet. So he's going to rotate in, but not in time to find anything other than Tombstone.
Killing spree.
Let's check that out. Inside, J-Money finds Moostyle again, and now 3 heroes on Ziggy G. They're going to sprout. Ziggy G could be in trouble as he will lose member. He tried to stay alive for now, as the teams comes in with the teleport. And finally arrives, and here's going to be potentially a Frost Blast, but they're able to split up right away. Now here's Yams with the charge on King Henry VIII. Gets the ult, and Ziggy G surviving for so long will finally go down to the ultimate of Lord. But not before picking up a kill on Sweet Umagoo. Ends up favoring, well no, this fight recap is just for the kill on the Death Prophet, which I imagine was just a focus fire.
The seeds of fortune.
Once the Maelstrom is done, there is the fight recap. So yeah, it does still favor, Mudboys a bit, as both supports going down to Lilies and ZG, but what that doesn't depict is the time that a core loses farming when they die, and only the supports dying. On PuppsPals' side, that is still going to be maybe looking to find something, or just push off the Realm of J-Money. Spiritbreaker has their Shadow Blade done. It's going to be a nice little speed boost for the charges and make it a little more discreet. And then you can swap up ZG. 3 heroes are here, but Yams comes right back in. Yogi has it stunned. ZG launching down onto J-Money isn't going to be able to step away. Now here's the Pulverize onto the Viper, but ZG goes down. Spirit Siphon from Moostyle isn't going to be enough to finish off J-Money. It is, but not for free. As Moostyle goes down, they aren't able to finish off T-Presentation, and it's a full wipe of Mudboys for only 2 heroes and PuppsPals. So that turns out absolutely disastrous for Mudboys.
Radiant should look to their middle tower. Radiant have fortified their structures against attack.
Looks like PuppsPals won't quite be able to turn this
middle tower is under
into
attack.
a tower, but they're certainly not going to what they got. BKB is ready on the Nature's Prophet. That is going to be trouble for Mudboys. Whenever
Warriors of the wood
for a fight. ZG with the charge coming through from the ends. Here's the Shadow Wave. They're getting stunned up into this reverse. This goes bring down without a chance to use the BKB. A really nice pick off by these two cores of Mudboys. So immediately, as soon as they respawn, they see more farming topside, and they know what they want. They set their sights with the charge and find it.
Dire should look to their top tower.
So can we move into the drop of the tombstone? TP's coming in, so this could be trouble. It's now the Shadow Shot on the Virginia Wolf. They get torn apart by this focus fire. Just remember, out on T-Presentation, but it's not doing any damage. They have the mechanism, and CEG just goes down, and Young Yan is going to be caught on the escape. J Money finished off.
Double
Does
kill.
give time for Yams to TP. So it won't feel too bad about going down there, but another big win for PuppsPals. Still only one tower taken. 19 minutes in. I imagine we're going to see more towers go down here very shortly.
Radiant should look to their top tower.
Jimmy potentially able to secure this, but Mudboys not going to give it away for free. They're going to TP in. Force Jimmy to retreat. So PuppsPals will turn their attention towards this top tower as well. Not much health left on
Radiant's
it.
top tower is in danger.
So I'll be able to come in. As the goal is finished, going to start on the BKB next. Smoke up for 3 heroes of PuppsPals. It's going to be dangerous smoking into this
Radiant should
Mudboys team.
look to their middle tower.
So now they're going to get a nice charge onto Wind Ranger, and with the stun from Young Man, it's going to be enough. Having a low power then first that's going to be another kill for Mudboys there. They have to take down this tombstone, but this is going to set them up to be the next to take a tower. What is overall, like,
Dire's middle tower
definitely
is under attack.
PuppsPals with a decent lead at this point in the game, but still a very, very again, this is a very important series for how things look within the Sange division. These teams are 2 of the teams vying for the top spot in the division. 6-0 for
Dire's
Mudboys,
middle tower
5-1
is under attack.
for PuppsPals so far in the league. So potentially one of these teams coming out with the top record in the division. Now on the respawn, J Money going to come in, get the Shadow Shot, the focus fire onto Virginia Wolf. The Onslaught stuns up J Money, stepped a little too far forward to set up the focus fire. Almost played that like it was an Earth Spirit, which is going to be able to block their roll out.
Dire's top
But not how
tower
that
is under
works
attack.
for the Onslaught. Ends up letting the Prime Minister escape. Looks like they're going to teleport top off this CDG. They get the Sprout, and I think this is just going to be curtains for this bug. Nowhere to go. No way out of these trees, out of Quelling
Time
Blade,
to cut my
and
losses.
just hold to the damage of the presentation more. Doing something a little scary, more able to TP it. So globally present and so insane. Ooh, they do get a really nice catch onto Sweet Boom Boo there. With the Sinister Gates. They do end up getting that tower mid. I think that happened.
Arms for the dead.
Not like a while.
My patience is good.
And Ziggy G did finish off this top tower. So Power advantage now slightly favoring Mudboys. Net worth lead still all in the hands of this Nature's Prophet. So maybe looking to set something up onto Yams if they can spot them. But Mudboy's gonna rotate up this way as well with 4 heroes, maybe even 5. ZG heading this way as well. They could find T-Presentation if they move up into this jungle soon. They don't have the vision, and it's hard to walk up that high ground without it. It's like they might look for a smoke here, yeah. That could be what they need to break up this high ground, or if they see J-Money forward enough. No, it's going to be T-Presentation that they find with the charge. Now the onslaught into the trend again. It is so much single target kickoff for this team. So a really nice pickup, and it goes to ZAG as well, so exactly what you're looking for Mudboys.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Primal Beast looking to finish off some Guardian Greaves for their team. Greaves have looked so good recently.
Dive's top tower is under attack.
Which was such a great team fight. It's now the swamp. Onto the punch, J-Money being stuck up. It's never going to be cancelled. Now here again, Wolf can be the first to go down, and Moostyle in trouble as more teleports in.
Double kill.
Into the back of the fight, Moostyle goes down, the other as well. No, this could be getting faster.
Killing
For Mudboys, they find Sweep.
Impossible.
J-Money finishes off. CEG, Yams gets their return kill, but
Ultra.
just sets up the Ultra for Mort. So once again, 2 heroes for 5. And PuppsPals, that amazing initiation,
Tower is under
started
attack.
off by King Henry
Radiant's
VIII.
middle tower has fallen.
From the goddess.
So, this game's still very close, but looking even more in PuppsPals' favor.
The seeds of fortune.
Some nice little banking. Both the bounty rooms. Radiant's been spending so much time in the top side of the map, they just haven't had anybody down here to pick those up. It ends up being one to find them. So has the Maelstrom working on full Gleipnir. Also, the Lincoln Sphere for the charge. This Nature's Prophet is really hard to deal with. You got Ags done on Viper. Opting for the BKB next. Surprised not the Bloodstone. I think that's been the build as Ags into Bloodstone. With that Blues Dive. I'm going to smoke up on PuppsPals. Mudboys are pretty spread out, so if they're able to find something,
for
it would be
enemies.
pretty big. Although it looks like it's just going to be Yodnian that ends up eating the smoke. Steps up in the triangle and it's immediately right into the site of many a PuppsPals. ZG is going to walk over here and Virginia Wolf going to TP in, but I don't think they're going to want to go for this already on the back foot, and this is just turning into the last tower.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is no more.
And it looks like this might be a Roche as well. Definitely about Conventional Spirit, accelerating J-Money. This Roche is moving around really, really fast.
Top tower is under attack.
This is actually incredibly fast. This is a crit stick on Nature's Prophet. Boots of Travel
Dire's
stuff.
middle
J-Money
tower
working
is
on
under
BKB.
attack.
Having another hero with Boots of Travel Nature's Prophet gives this team so much more presence. Which is something we know that they like to have because of how often they pick Dawnbreaker. Like, it really just lets them set up map movements the way that they want. With these globally teleporting heroes. PuppsPals might be looking for something here. J-Money gonna run forward. This ward catches vision of Moostyle, and they're gonna get a full shackle onto this tree, so Death Prophet in an immense amount of trouble. Hook is gonna connect on the Windranger, and this member lands really, yeah, it's huge. They are gonna find the Aegis first.
They're unstoppable.
Just on the Windranger. Now, Mort isn't that one. CEG is in trouble. Moostyle trying to throw out some damage, but just doesn't have enough. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. J-Money takes a huge chunk. Moostyle may knock down. Nice disable.
That was unreal. Double kill.
On the Wind Ranger, pulverize everything up the Viper, but not in time and saving style. So now the damage comes out.
It's the impossible kill.
He's back. Triple kill for this Nature's Pop. Just absolutely running the show. Almost double the net worth of anybody else in this game. That is insane. This is going to be the first tier 2 tower of the game. It's the mid tier 2 on the Radiant side. So this game was looking very close for so long, and off of that Aegis, and off of some of these team fights where it's felt like Mudboys rarely able to get quite the team fight they want, it's going to turn into a game that is now looking very much in the favor of PuppsPals. Interesting. I like going for the because it's just so much value for her 2 main spells. But having that regen reduction on the team, like somebody had to go Spirit Vessel on PuppsPals because you've got Pudge and Death Prophet rolls on the side of Mudboys. And so it ends up being King Henry VIII that picks it up. Heroes in the area looking at more farming this wave. PuppsPals are on their way up here.
I accept this offering.
That won't turn into... Everybody just gonna back away and farm. Slow push down the lane, PuppsPals. Looking at some items, BKB's done on 2 out of 3 of PuppsPals cores. Viper not far away. BKB just finished on ZG. That's going to be really good. The Silent is not far off. It's now the double stun. Wolf just going to charge away.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Looks like that would be space and just like we said about the Rage, there's so much tower damage in this game too. It's now a really nice late here comes out from BKB for more. Double stun with the shadow, Rob like on this Nature's Prophet. The stuns keep coming out from this Vengeful Spirit. Three on the deck, 1 buyback already. Yams charging through on the Vengeful Spirit, but the team's already gone. You're charging into your death. Triple kill for Mort. Now Style can get swapped back. No, onto buyback.
I guess.
Another kill for T presentation. Absolutely devastating. This could just be Curtis. 22,000 members lead all of a sudden. PuppsPals have just completely taken over this game. I think this will be more than one set of barracks here. With the buybacks getting used, you don't have Death Prophet for a while, dude. You're not going to get a favorable fight for another 40 seconds. No buyback available on Spirit. Trying to go for something else.
It happened again. Own it.
Really blown up. Where did they go? 740 damage on the crit. That Lich just disappeared. That's the kind of crit that you see out of a Wraith King at this point. That's absurd.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
And with that, that's going to be full megas. PuppsPals, Lightyear onto Yams. The stun bounces off of the creep. Really nicely played by King Henry VIII. Shadowblade is going to get let Yams get away. So maybe one more fight for Mudboys. Is Yam just going to charge out and try to stop this group from pushing in? But it's already looking so scary that building damage from this massive Nature's Prophet is now a full double that Earth to lose 0. Here could be the final fight. Unless Mudboys can somehow win the end over Young's already dead in the backlines. Now the stun's up 1-2 again all the way out. It's still alive. To find the Vengeful Spirit finally, who is going to buy back. Sange now going to get stunned up.
A dominating performance.
Down.
Impossible.
Triple kill for J-Money. It's going to charge through. And they pick up this kill on the Wind Ranger, they do, just to feel a little bit better as their tier 4s go down. No buybacks remain. This is a more... will finish off Ancient himself. Yams gets buyback,
The Radiant
but it's just
is in grave danger.
One last charge. To make the GA go through.
Protect the
Just falls. And PuppsPals take game 1 of this best of 2 series. Wow, that game, like, I need to see this, yeah. Graph. Actually, Mudboys favored slightly out of the draft, and it was just such a close game until it wasn't. Like, just crazy how that one fight before Roche just completely snowballed into this game ending. Look at this net worth on this Nature's Prophet. And it, like, just playing a different game over here. Just able to farm so much that how, like, it looks like an alchemist graph. What is this? 16, 2, and 23 on the Nature's Prophet. But really a team effort across the board. 37 assists from King Henry VIII. 15, 3, 17 from PuppsPals. Like, again, this game looked close for so long, and it ends up being almost double in the kill score. 50 to 26. And most of those kills on the Nature's Prophet and Viper. Really just a nutty game. Alright. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break and then get into Game 2 in just a few, so stick around, and we will be back very soon. Alright, and we are back for game number 2, Mudboys versus PuppsPals. PuppsPals took game 1 in what started off as a pretty even game, but very quickly snowballed to be very much in PuppsPals' favor, and they rode one Aegis all the way to victory. We're going to see what Mudboys can do, bounce back in game 2. PuppsPals in that game 1 actually claiming the first official win over Mudboys of the league so far.
It is Radiant's band.
Sullying that 6-0 record. So both of these teams now are 6-1 coming into game 2. And I believe that means, I mean, rankings are a little weird because of how some teams have moved around with the division, but
5
the team
remain.
that wins this game should be walking away with the best record in the division. At least for now. Still plenty of games. Well, I say plenty. Still a couple games to play for the division this weekend. Alright, same opening bands, Lena Razor. That is like the standard pair of opening bands.
5 seconds remain.
Most
Dire's turn to ban.
Ban out the Vengeful Spirit, which means the Dawnbreaker will get through. Man, it just feels more and more like it is impossible to settle on 2 bans.
10 seconds.
Like you have to give the opposing team something in the first phase. You just have to have an answer for one of the best things.
Radiant's turn to pick.
PuppsPals gonna stick with the Razor Void Spirit. An immense amount of what did I just say? An immense amount. There we go. Of respect. Invented a new word. Immense amount combined into immense.
10 seconds.
Immense respect for Yams' Void Spirit.
5
which is
seconds.
truly terrifying. Alright, Mudboys with the opening pick. It's going to be a preempt protector. This has been a very strong position 5 to open with. Something I'm a big fan of seeing. Just provides an absurd amount of heal off of living armor. You've seen. PuppsPals are going to go right back to that Dawnbreaker that has been so tried and true for them.
I speak
And
for the
follow
trees.
it up with the Nature's Prophet. This is such a scary opening draft. Like, you know exactly where these heroes are going. It goes against so much of how
10 seconds.
like the drafting meta is understood to be.
5
Because
seconds
normally
remain.
like you definitely pick one support because you don't want 2 of your cores having all of these picks to get counter-picked against. Ooh, and it's going to be the Morphling. So this was something that PuppsPals knew about when they banned it last game. There is, I'm guessing it's Yams, given the Void Spirit skill, but it might be Ziggy.
10 seconds remain.
But yeah, this Dawnbreaker Nature's Prophet, like it spits in the face of like drafting at least one support in the first phase. It spits in the face of like versatility because you know exactly where these heroes are going. Like technically there's some flexibility. Either of them could move to the mid lane, but I think it's pretty safe to say from what we've seen this team do, Dawnbreaker's position 3, the Nature's Prophet is position 1, and you like you just have to deal with the fact that these heroes are getting in, or you have to give them something else like Lena in the first phase, which is terrifying to do. And just the global presence, the amount of damage, the proficiency that these particular players have on these heroes This is a hard thing to deal with. I like the Morphling coming out, though. That is a decent answer to the Nature's Prophet.
Radiant's turn to ban.
You've got the built-in escape, although he does eventually get the leash in the trees, which I think prevents you from using movement ability to get out of it. So we'll see if that's enough. It does also give you a lot of damage into the Dawnbreaker. So we're going to see more respect from the last draft coming out for Mudboys, the Undying, and Wind Ranger bans. So we should see a pretty different draft from PuppsPals. They continue their strategy of banning out some of the scariest position ones. They go with Phantom Lancer, Wraith King, Ursa.
10 seconds.
I take it those are the heroes that they find are the strongest into this Dawnbreaker Nature's Prophet draft. Who just have the durability to survive these games. And, talk about global presence and capitalizing on what these heroes do. Ancient Apparition coming out for PuppsPals. Most likely Sweet Pumaku. Mostly see that in the
10 seconds remain.
But works well enough on either support.
5 seconds.
And really good answer to the Morphling, I believe. Let me check quick. I don't think that Morphling Strength Gain is one of the few things that goes through AA ult. I'm pretty sure that AA does stop him. Like, obviously he still gains the strength, but he doesn't get the health back with the strength under the effects of Ice Blast. I should know this. I am known to be an Ancient Apparition spammer. If not in the league, in my pubs.
Radiant must choose.
Yeah, no.
Silencer.
Morph is not on the list of abilities that go through Ice Blast, so that is a very good answer to the Morphling. I'm a little surprised it didn't get banned out by Mudboys if Sweet Pumaku is comfortable. Mudboys are going to answer with the Silencer. This is a really nice answer to the Dawnbreaker. This is another one that I feel like should have gotten banned by PuppsPals to protect it. Because if you see the Dawnbreaker ulting, you can just drop global, and it interrupts her ult. She gets stuck wherever she is. Her ult is on cooldown. And they're going to answer it with an Underlord, so they get a lot of global teleportation of their own. I really like this second phase from Mudboys. This is the danger that you run with picking your Dawnbreaker Nature's Prophet in the first phase, is that you give Mudboys 3 heroes to answer it with. And so they chose to focus their bans on the position 1s, and so they get some protection there, but not going after these heroes in other roles that can really answer their draft. We'll see if it comes back to bite them.
The sack.
PuppsPals, I'm going to pick up Leshrac now. So, again, should be the mid laner. You have the room to move these cores around pretty freely. Dawnbreaker can technically go in any core role. Nature's Prophet honestly can too. Leshrac you wouldn't normally put in the safe lane, but I think you could get away with it. I think that's going to be the damage they need to get through Tree, Morphling, and Underlord. Also a good answer to Silencer, because Leshrac doesn't care too much about getting silenced. The Arcane Curse is going to hurt, but the Global Silence itself, Leshrac has multiple spells where he just turns them on, and then they go for a long period of time. Between Diabolic Edict and the other one, they just do a lot of damage in an area over time, and that means that even when he gets silenced, he's like, I don't care, I've already cast my spells, I don't need to keep pushing buttons. My buttons have been pushed. Draft, again, does look very straightforward for PuppsPals. As much as you can move the cores around to try to find a favorable lane matchup, I mean, you can put the Dawnbreaker into a 4 position if you really wanted to, but I don't expect to see that. That said, I didn't expect the Primal Beast support from Mudboys last week,
5
so
seconds
I
remain.
definitely wouldn't rule it out. But I do agree with Mudboys banning out some supports that they think would most complement PuppsPals draft.
It is Radiant's ban.
And yeah, I think PuppsPals would definitely enjoy a guaranteed stun. They have stuns in Dawnbreaker, Ancient Apparition, and Leshrac, but none of them are guaranteed. They're all dodgeable. They all require an amount of setup
10
to make sure that it gets
remain.
through.
5
So
seconds.
something like a Shadow Shaman would work well for them to guarantee you have that
Dire's
initial
turn to
stun.
ban.
You know, the Wyvern as well. That's a pretty good setup into the Dawnbreaker ult and into the Leshrac. So I'm guessing that's why they go for that. Mudboys is going to be the anti-mage ban, so going to keep targeting position
10
ones.
seconds
Makes
remain.
sense. I'm expecting to see this Morphling in the mid lane, and
5
Underlord
seconds
is
remain.
almost always in position 3. And Silencer Treant, we expect to see in the sports. Not a ton of lockdown on the side of Mudboys. Like, I might ban, like, a Sven or a Faceless. I'd probably ban a Faceless if I'm PuppsPals. They have quite good
Radiant's
damage
turn
into
to
Chrono.
pick.
You have good setup for Chrono and good follow-up, but you don't have... Because you don't have, like, a hard stun. You can get the root on Treant, you get the stun on Morphling, you get the roots on Underlord,
10 seconds.
but that's it. You could also see them
5
go something like a
seconds.
Sven, but I think... I don't know, maybe Faceless is scary though, because
Dire's turn
with
to
Nature's
pick.
Prophet Leshrac,
Weaver.
I'm gonna go Weaver. Interesting. So Weaver, we talked about it for the Morphling. Time-lapse is one of the rare exceptions to Ancient Apparitions ult. Time-lapse fully ignores AI ult.
10
You get to just
seconds.
get all of the health back. So
5
that
seconds
works out
remain.
quite well for them. I think that's why they end up going there. Yeah, I think it would be tough for them to go Faceless Void because of the amount of damage into Chrono that PuppsPals have. Like, unless you're getting pretty much everybody, you have the Dawnbreaker to save into Chrono. Honestly, PuppsPals could go Faceless. I think that would be pretty decent for them. I guess it goes both ways. If both teams have good damage into Chrono, so even if you have a good setup on your own team, you have to get, like, everybody in it, or Faceless is going to be at risk of dying until he has BKB. I still think they want something for a stun. They've banned out the Wraith King. Sven isn't a great hero right now, and doesn't look great until Mudboys draft. I'm just trying to think what else... Oh no, I'm reading the shop.
Select your hero.
Or maybe
Make
for
the
Dawnbreaker.
ultimate choice.
No, it is going to be for Spirit Breaker now. Yeah, I totally was thinking too much about Faceless Void. That hero just gets banned in so many drafts in WLDL because it's so good in an organized play format that I got stuck on it, seeing that it was still in the pool. But yeah, of course, Mort is on the Nature's Prophet. You're not gonna move things around that much. Yeah, and this draft all shakes out about how you'd expect. The Spirit Breaker position 4 last pick is pretty interesting. But I like it. I think it gives PuppsPals a lot of the setup they need. Again, even more global movement, which is just kind of disgusting. Leshrac is your only non-inherently global presence hero, and he's just gonna build Boots of Travels. But maybe the Underlord ult is enough to respond to it. Let's see. As for hats, we've got a lot of really good stuff all around. Nothing on the Dawnbreaker. We've got a couple options there now, so it's not fully exposed for me. I think that will mean that we go with Mudboys for the hats draft. But overall draft, I don't know. They definitely brought some answers for this Dawnbreaker Nature's Prophet opening. I just don't know if it's enough.
Uproot and after them!
So I'm gonna
Prepare
favor
yourselves for the main
PuppsPals
event.
a little bit. Do we have... The algorithm favors Mudboys, 54% to 46 off of the draft. It looks like it's going to be similar map movement with PuppsPals starting things off, going into bottom jungle, and this time PuppsPals are going to smoke up. I wonder if something happened there. Was that tip to come out, or if that was just a little fun. So this is going to be interesting. Mudboys, I think, expected this last time and read it well.
30
They're going to
seconds
smoke up.
and counting.
We were just going to run right into them. So we're going to get a nice little level 1 fight, almost a full 5v5 at level 1. Virginia Wolf eating a lot of damage. J-Money as well, though. If ZKG can pick up this kill, that would be huge to start things off. It looks like Virginia Wolf is going to be able to get away. J-Money as well. Now the damage is going to turn towards you at the end of Sweet Poo, also falling low. ZKG going forward.
First blood.
And though will be the
Thanks
first
and have
blood
fun.
in the way of King Henry VIII. And the tower will finish off ZKG, or sorry, will finish off Sweet Poo Magoo until getting split between ZKG and Yams. So both position 5s end up falling to the level 1 fight. And 3 bounty runes for PuppsPals, so they end up getting the better of that.
Villainy.
Alright. It's going to be a high skill matchup in mid lane. I expect this is a little Morphling favored. Oh, this is also level 30 Morphling. Okay, yeah, that's... Man, Yams has a scary amount of time on some scary heroes. That's why that was good again in game 1. So I expect Yams to come out on top in this mid lane. We'll see how the side lanes do. Dawnbreaker's tough, but I think a Weaver has the potential for ZGG to be able to find a safe amount of farm, especially into 2 melee heroes. And Tree's pretty good in the space of the lane, despite being a melee hero himself. Moose Style is going to have a bad time. This lane is going to be very difficult for an Underlord. I think the Fiend's Gate was pretty necessary to answer the movements of the trials, but this double range lane,
Never
they're going to find a
the
kill
end of this.
pretty early on.
Not
It'll
for
be
you.
very difficult for Moose Style to find much in this lane, so I'm expecting this to be another. Actually, they're going to get the Sprout with the Cold Feet. That's unfortunate. That probably would have been enough damage from just Cold Feet alone. That's it's 30 damage per second, so yeah, that would have been on Moose Style for 3 seconds. And with the slow, I think would have been enough damage. I've been there. You probably couldn't even. I thought the Cold Feet was on Moose Style. Arcane Curse is going to be their biggest... Arcane Curse and Firestorm are going to be their tools for keeping Morton Sweet Poo Magoo off of Moose Style, but we'll see if it ends up being enough. Yeah, this lane already off to a good start for ZGG, but a lot better than last game, where Team Presentation ran away with things with the Viper. So I think this Weaver pick is a pretty good response to this dominant offlane Dawnbreaker that Team Presentation has had.
Pull roots and run.
A little bit. So I'll still just trying to find what space they can in a very difficult lane. This is definitely one of the kinds of lanes where I'm telling my team, like, hey, I am not going to win this lane. So their safe lane is going to have a start. They actually have the sentry, they're going to get the charge with the immediate bash onto ZGG. Henry VIII, laying out the pain. Top side Moose Style does eventually
Into the
rebound,
pit with you.
even with the Firestorm and Arcane Curse out. Just that the ranged damage from the Nature's Prophet and A have such long range, and you've got the setup with the Sprout for the Cold Feet. because Underlord does have the Quelling Blade, so it's not too devastating, but that amount of time that it takes you to respond to getting sprouted can be just enough for you. Another charge from with the hammer, that's going to be a lot of damage. They get the stun from the spin. Are they going to have enough to bring down ZG? It doesn't look like they will. The punches coming out from going again. This Treant hurts. You have to respect the damage that the tree can do. One of, I think, still the highest base attack damage in the game for Tree of Protector, and started a Orb of Venom as well to go. So you've got, I think, oh no, Weaver didn't start a,
Revile.
Okay, yeah. Bladestone. Yeah, that's what I said. Didn't start with the Bladestone. So Ukumagoo is taking quite a bit of damage from the silencer. There's almost completely out now. There's one glaive left in the tank. We're pretty low as well, so with some levels, Moostyle and Virginia Wolf finding their way back into this lane. The denies from Yams. Ooh, they get a lot onto Ziggy G. Gunyan low as well, but deep representation as well. So this was a pretty significant fight. This bug is just tearing apart his
Thank you, you precious
already has the Spirit Vessel. Or sorry, not the Spirit Vessel. That would be insane. Already has the Urn of Shadows on the Spirit Breaker. Now they're going to charge as soon as they use back up in. It's still low after the last fight. They get the stuns. HC comes out, but it's not going to be in time. King Henry VIII is taking a lot of damage, so ZG might have a chance to get some damage in. No, hey, King Henry VIII would be able to just keep me on out of there. We'll give ZG a decent amount of space to fight this lane, as it's still going quite well for this game on last hits. Mid lane, yeah, Yams really showing up. And now with the charge in, Yams is shifting his strength in time, so I think they will be okay. Does already have the Spirit Vessel, so it is going to hinder what this I keep saying Spirit Vessel, Urn of Shadows, which is not going to hinder health regen. I mean, it's going to deal some damage. Ooh, lots of damage from the It's not quite enough.
Warriors of the
Now,
wood.
Mark can go forward. With trees onto Virginia Wolf, this is a lot of damage coming out from this Nature's Prophet, and
Killing
Virginia Wolf
spree.
will go down
Own
in
it.
full strength of this Treant. Because now King Henry VIII, of course, Attorney is in with the charge onto Moostyle. So Ukumagoo is going to be able to step back in, and with the Cold
Killing
Chain, that's going to be
spree.
enough damage
Oh, nah.
to bring down the Underlord. So the movements from this position 4 Spirit Breaker on a killing spree here. This last pick, pause for Spirit Breaker, looking incredibly strong to start off the game. 7-1 is the kill score to start things off in this game. They're just going to throw a charge shot while they have the vision. Eventually, they are just going to turn on the again. Get the Starbreaker, gonna get the stun, the Urn of Shadows, who gets the living armor off. And that's
dominating performance.
Not
Own it.
enough. The Urn of Shadows finishes it off. And another kill dominating now.
There is
King
little
Henry
hope for
VIII.
Dire's middle tower.
Invisibility.
Away for now. Yams still actually two levels ahead now with 15 denies. So Yams coming out of this mid lane firmly on top. I'd love to see now. Looks like he even used a morph on the left track. I'm curious how that goes. I think that's not your favorite hero.
I think not.
Also, that was the ability I couldn't think of in the draft. Yeah, I'm curious to see if we'll get a rotation out of Yams to try to follow. And this pressure created by King Henry VIII is just absurd. Now they have, into bomb right here. Virginia Wolf just disappears with the Wrath of Nature. Now Moose Styles can be in trouble as well. 4 heroes here. Again, this global presence already coming into effect. The Starbreaker and the damage from the Treants are going to be enough to finish off Moose Style. So and here's the damage. They chase down Yan and another kill. I mean, this is looking just incredibly dominant
Dire's bottom tower
for PuppsPals out of the gate. 11-1.
Tithe to the impurities.
Your last, it feels like already, just 9 minutes into the game, it feels like your last hope is Yams, who I'm excited to see as the game goes on perform on this Morphlane. And Sange is also getting quite a bit of space on this speaker. They've dedicated a lot of pressure to this speaker. So now they're going to charge again with the Sprout onto Virginia with the Silencer, and she's going to downgrade again. Now they have the first Spirit Breaker. Charges forward with the burn. Oh, the bash allows the Style to escape the cold feet. The Sprout onto the tower, and ZEG is going to rotate. Maybe be able to find some kills to clean up. It's everybody getting way low. Stuns out from King Henry VIII. It will not be enough to keep ZEG alive. It's a really nice rotation, or sorry, to keep the Spear Breaker alive. It's a really nice rotation from ZEG to pick up the kill on King Henry VIII. We're going to, I think, TP home with a scroll and then teleport out on the W to come bot. So just like, yeah, I don't want to be I want to find kills elsewhere. And with T presentation down here, Young Man is going to immediately be into trouble.
They're unstoppable.
Oh
Hello,
no!
this is Gabe Newell.
Where
Thanks
did
for
that
playing
kill
Dota
come
2.
from?
Double kill.
Will carry
Yams.
forth the light.
Yams.
Radiant should look to their bottom
Yams,
tower.
which was low on morphing, was full into agility, only 900
Radiant
health.
have fortified their
and
structures
the Wrath
against
of
attack.
Nature.
Radiant's bottom tower is in danger.
That's a really big kill. That's 357 gold. Unassisted. Like, this morph has been having a pretty open game. So now we're rotating the answer immediately. To say, okay, yeah, if you're gonna sit here and hit my tower at low health, I'm gonna do the exact same thing to you, just a little less cheesy. Teleports in and finds the kill. So that's a really nice kill for me. Immediately makes that unfortunate Wrath of Nature kill not feel too bad. Alright. We're doing kind of the mid lane stare down a little bit in the meantime, as that bot tower went down. And it is worth mentioning that Mort did still get this tower, so
Radiant
that
should
makes
look
it
to their
not
top
feel
tower.
quite as good for you. It's still quite nice to pick up. I mean, 658 gold. That's actually an absurd amount of stuff for that kill, because that was a 6-0 position 1 Nature's Prophet. Where is our? Where's that? 12 minutes. And it's Mort on the Nature's Prophet in the lead again. Bugs come out on to Gemini. ZBG working on that Maelstrom. Yams is going to get hit by this Ice Blast with the Solar Guardian. They are going to find their kill on Yams. Everyone throws the teleport, but it's not going to be enough. So that Fiend's Gate going to go pretty much wasted.
There is little hope for Radiant's
Now they're able to keep Yams out of this game. ZEG still having a good one, and is going to turn attention to Gemini once again as they push down this tower. Picks up the Illusion Rune in the bottle, so that's going to be a free little dispel slash dodge. Now the charge is going to come through from King Henry VIII. He's going to have to back off as ZEG is far. It's close enough to the tower, and the support is there from Virginia Wolf and Young Man.
Dire should look to their top tower.
Alright. So now, smoke in on 3. You're going for once again, they're going to spot them out with the charge. Morphin could be in trouble. Already Shadows attacks. That's a full Spirit Vessel now.
You were not supposed to be gone this long.
And that is going to be another quick kill.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So after a very impressive looking laning phase, Yam's getting shut down by this, largely by this support move aided by T-Presentation on the Dawnbreaker. Full Maelstrom done on the ZG. And that is going to get an Arcane Rune, so it's going to be a little scary. It's getting dealt quite a bit of damage from the Silencer with the Arcane Curse. Careful, it is going to be, it's going to go down. Golden Silence comes out, and Virginia Wolf secures the kill with that onto Gemini. And now Mort has to be careful. ZEG chasing forward with the Shikuchi. And now here comes the loot from Moostyle. Can they lock down Mort enough to find this kill? Dawnbreaker ult, it's not going to be in time as the Maelstrom proc comes out. Ice Blast is going to connect off with ZEG, so that finds a kill, and now Moostyle has to be careful under the effects of that Ancient Apparition ult. And now the Spirit Vessel, it's just going to be too much damage. Moostyle will go down, Virginia Wolf has to escape, and Yutman cannot get there. Time to help. So even when things look pretty good with the pickup on Mort, turn right around and into 4 kills for PuppsPals. 20-6, 4K net worth lead. And this one looking... I mean, the net worth difference is once again close, and it looks very much the same. It's the difference between the Mort's Nature's Prophet and then Moostyle, who has just had, like, with Death Prophet and Underlord, you're so used to having, like, a very solid, like, dominant lane, but into a hero like Nature's Prophet, it's so hard to be able to get ahead in your lane. And that's kind of been the tale of both of these games. So the net worth lead's still not crazy. I mean, 3K at 15 minutes is significant, but 20-6 on kills, I think, says more about where this game is at. We've got Yasha just working on the Manta. So now they're going to get some damage on the melee. That Arcane Curse actually is doing a lot of work on the Slash Rack. Once again. So that pickup seems to be going pretty well for Mudboys. The Silencer is going
middle
to
tower
prove to
has
be
been denied.
quite important as the game goes on. ZG working on the BKB. Moostyle has the Vanguard. Looks like he's going to go
bottom tower
Greaves
is under attack.
Looking at a Shard. I think this is a more right-click oriented Morphling build, so I think the Shard is going to be pretty good there. I like it when there's a couple, I don't know if I like this game. So now they're going to get a charge forward. It's going to be able to dodge away and they're doing pretty well. Also, it's not going to connect. But all that Shard does, with the Ice Blast, it's going to finish off the kill. Fiendscape once again is not in time to save Moostyle, but maybe it'll be in time to get ZEG some kills. So they get the Shikuchi, trying to find something on T-Presentation. They don't have a Pin Chalice available, so T-Presentation walks away. They do get to pick up the kill on Sweet Kumu. So Moostyle gets something for their efforts, but we'll see in the fight to recap in a moment. I think that still comes out in PuppsPals' favor, especially given that this is a support for a core trade. They were really close to being able to bring down T-Presentation, just didn't have something to stop them left in the tank.
Invisibility!
Radiant should look to their top tower.
Yeah, I was going to talk about the Shard on each apparition. I like the Shard in certain games, and normally I like it against range cores, and so it might look good at a glance against a weaker Morphling who are both range cores, because what it gives you is damage, which is nice for wave clear mostly, and then attack speed slow, and that attack speed slow is generally what is make or break on if I want to build it, unless we're like really pushed into base. As now with the Arcane Curse and Sange in the area, they're going to look for something on J-Mac. It has the rules, so which does not dispel the bug. It does dispel all of Silencer spells. So you can be able to dodge Earth Spike and actually just walks off, or time lapses off damage from the Wrath Legion. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time on the AA Ag Shard. I do want to finish my thought. It was just that Weaver and Morphling, I think, are too mobile for the AA Shard to be worth it. But if you do get the Ice Vortex cooldown talent, then maybe you can get enough Ice Blasts around the area of a fight, or enough Ice Vortexes around the area of a fight that it ends up paying off. But I'm a little skeptical of it because of how Yams has the Manta finished. I'm done with my nerding out about Ancient Apparition, at least for now. See if something else comes up. But that's my boy, so I have to spend a little bit of excess time talking about it here. Get Manta done, gonna work on the Lincolns next. Pretty much the same reason we saw against the Spirit Breaker last game. Silencer has the Veil of Discord, which with the Leshrac is... Sorry, no, they're playing against the Leshrac. With the Underlord, I guess that's worth it? I don't know if that's worth it in this game. I don't know if you have enough magic damage on the team. I feel like I'd rather see a 4-staff. Something else that's a more traditional support item. But maybe you're just going to rely on the Treant to get that. Treant's going Holy Lock, so going all heals. Yeah, if you don't have any 4-staff or Glimmer Cape, so no big source of save. I mean, Morphling and Weaver do have built-in saves, so it doesn't feel as necessary in this game. But I think it would still be... Ace Blast is going to full health, it's not going to do too much. It deletes the Ancient Apparition. Now Global Silence comes up, and that's going to secure the kill onto Gemini. So before the most global heroes on PuppsPals were the ones not involved in that engagement, but the Leshrac and AA were just dead before there was time to respond to that. I need to see... Yeah, an Adaptive Strike for 456 and a Right Click for 334. Oh, connected with the Waveform as well for another 225 damage. Now this AA is probably going to be thinking about... Oh, and now they get a charge into the Dawnbreaker ult, so they are able to pick up TPP. Perhaps stayed a little bit too long pushing out this wave. Didn't quite catch that kill. I apologize for it. Again, some J-Monies squaring up. Again, and they've got the charge, they've got the TP in for it. As a BKB complete, it's going to play shifting and strength and the sprout. Doesn't quite have a waveform available. Ice Blast is going to just connect right on the edge, so Yam's going to take out with the Spirit Vessel down as well. Yogi and Moonstyle are here, but now they're just going to be in trouble. Virginia Wolf going to try to show up, bring out some damage. Moonstyle, can they survive long enough for someone to steal into one more time? Down, Moonstyle is going to go down. Now TH's here with BKB. He's going to be able to pick up the kill on to Lord. Now chasing down J-Money. These heroes eat this Leshrac for breakfast, and it's going to be a full 3 for 3 double kill for Ziggy G to wrap things up. So really nice movement from Mudboys. That looked really scary, how they rotated in. But I think they knew, or just gambled on Solar Guardian still being down. Ice Blast was down, so 2 of these heroes could not participate in the fight. They knew that at no point were they going to be dealing with more than 3 heroes. So even with a couple of early deaths, they still could get into the fight. And they end up swinging things around, yeah, get the advantage in gold at the end of the day. Is it 2 Ice Blasts? Oh no, that's their release. Okay. I never know when the release shows up in the
A golden thread.
In the fight summary. That's right, because if it was 2, it would have a little 2. Which eventually will have fights where there's multiple Ice Blast. Right now, this is still level 1 Ice Blast. Yeah. Arcane Rune makes this look better than it is. Ever since they nerfed the cooldown on Ice Blast, it's bad. Rare until the late game that you start seeing multiple Ice Blasts.
Eager to know Dire's whereabouts.
Let's see. I think. No, can't be working on Greaves because those are almost done. Oh, so just finishing Tranks after making a copy out of Yam still working on the Lightning Sphere. See if Ziggy G ends up going one of those as well. It actually has the Dragonlance, which I don't think I used to see Weaver, who is able to duck in and out of fights with Shukuchi so much. But maybe just looking for a little more tankiness on top of Black King. I don't know, that's a bit of an interesting pickup to me. Maybe also just wants to keep their distance from some of the spells like the Split Earth, and the like Dawnbreaker's kick kind of relies close by. It's an interesting one. A smoke right in the mid lane might have been seen by this ward. I think it was. I think this little yellow line is Spirit Breaker telling Dawn to get back. Dawn is not going to get back. The presentation is going to keep hitting this cam, and once that BKB available, with Overgrowth, that BKB does not mean enough. This ult is one of the many reasons that you pick Treant Protector right now. One of the things that makes this hero so strong is a massive AoE BKB piercing. Just a very, very powerful ability, especially to have on your position 5, where you normally do not have that kind of team fight capability. Who is this charge on? It must be headed top, yeah, for Ziggy B. They're not going to have Dawnbreaker available.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Mort can connect on this with teleportation. They are going to finish this. Has the dust ready. But Morton's not TP again. And the Ender the Aids of Worth Eternity is just going to go down.
Fresh fertilizer.
Mudboys may be thinking about turning this into a Roach. It looks like they'll decide against it with Dawnbreaker respawning. But they are going to look towards J-Money, who they spot farming that mid creep wave. So you're doing a little bit of an offense spot to a good root, but immediately going to use it off and just throws down the pit. J-Money is defeated by Ziggy G. This Weaver is looking pretty huge. Does have to commit the BKB, but now they're going to spot Sweeping the Blue walking back, and Yams is here as well. So the damage is going to come out, and with the adaptive strike, they will quickly be no more.
Each brave courier knows Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's
now Mudboys are going to look to turn this into a tower pretty quickly. Mort going to try to respond on the opposite side of the map with Treants. We're going to get this first. They have Fiendskate available, but it doesn't look like they'll use it because they don't know where exactly Mort will be at this point.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top
I don't know,
tower
I would have
is
loved
under
to see a Fiendskate play. If you got the read, like, easy to say on my end when I have full vision, but if you got the read that the Nature's Prophet would probably be farming in this triangle after pushing the top tower in, you 100% could have Fiendskated in here. Maybe it's not slow enough, or it's not fast enough because we can just, like, BKB teleport out. It's actually going to teleport onto Virginia Wolf. Oh, and the global doesn't even come down in time. It wasn't going to matter anyway. Oh no! Get the root onto Ziggy G. Very nice time lapse to get away. Now it's going to come back in to connect with the team. Ice Blast is going to connect on Ziggy G, who steps back in. Gets some damage on J-Money. Pops the BKB. You cannot dispel the Frostbite that will secure the escape. So it will only be Virginia Wolf who ends up going down. What ends up being a non-engagement. Meanwhile, Yams, they see, I mean, Mort and Dawnbreaker teleported down here. T-Presentation committed the Solar Guardian to pick off the Silencer. And Yams very smartly is going to go for that. Can they get it in time before this fight gets out of hand? Silence up, so no chance to get over the top. There's the Aegis finished by Yams. So they will essentially trade Train Protector for an Aegis, and I think they're pretty content with it. That fight kind of secured Yams the space to finish off that rush off. So, I think that ends up less than 1k net worth difference now. Yams and Ziggy G have almost caught up to Mort on the net worth chart, and despite the 10k or the 10 kill difference, the net worth lead is almost gone. And win probability is over 2/3 in Mudboys' favor now. Now they're gonna spawn out. This one is something back and Ziggy G's here. Or just when he forced BKB and teleport away. Presentation does finish off the Soul Guardian. Here comes the Ice Blast onto 3. Ahead of the 8th. Trying to position away from the fight and just get out. Moonstyle goes down. Ziggy G gonna have to BKB and Shikuchi away. Now Yogi Yang and pay price. Ziggy G maybe looking for something on Ahead of the 8th. Gonna have to time lapse away from the dust. And they just charge right back in. Oh no, this could be disastrous. Is right as things were going their way. They lose 3, they lose the bottom tower. Yam's continuing to try to keep this game even himself. Picks up the opposite tower and is putting pressure on this Dire tier 3s. These tier 3s are going to get kicked. We're going to see how these teams respond. Lincoln Sphere blocks the charge, and that's going to give Yams even more time to tear apart these racks. They're going to actually be taking these racks faster on their own than PuppsPals can get these bottom racks. It looks like it still will be the full trade. Now Virginia looking to get charged to get the 2 roots from the Lightning. Oh, but a very nice bit of malice from Style. Silence comes out and J Money is already on the deck. The team presentation get caught up as well as Yams is here and BKB'd up. So a really nice double kill for Yams. Still has that Aegis available. Gonna force the rest of PuppsPals to retreat. Mudboys are not willing to give up this game too. In what is now the opposite story. Last game started off looking slightly PuppsPals favored, but quite even throughout. Now this game started out very PuppsPals favored and has swung all the way back around. Nice, just for a moment, hope you caught it when I did. A nice probability for Mudboys just a minute ago. So now they're going to look to finish off this last tier 2 tower on the Dire side, and without Dawnbreaker, it looks like there's not going to be enough they can do. They're going to throw down the Rod of Atos on the Sweep and do. Able to force staff away before the Pit of Malice can connect. But that is enough to secure the tower. Bot side, Mort could be in trouble. You've got like, Fiend's Gate coming in with the BKB time-lapse. They could turn this around. King Henry the 8's going to go down, and this is really BKB, Ziggy G and Yams tear apart Mort. Ice Blast is going to death, but it's not going to do enough, and now they're going to go right back to the Fiend's Gate and start pushing this tower down. They've still got a minute and a half on this Aegis. This could actually be disastrous for PuppsPals. Yams in, Sweet Pumagoop almost completed. It'll be J Money instead, which is even better for the side of Mudboys. Yams looking for more.
That was unreal.
The rest of the team going to start going to work on pushing. Some buybacks can come out now, and here goes the Aegis. Did the Mudboys back off too much, and is Yams going to be able to get out of this Lincoln spot? Waveforms through Henry the 8 has to be careful, as Yams still has to be able. Now two presentation return. Mort is back up, and Sprout connects on with the presentation to get the space. Lightyear comes out, and gets off the earth before going down. Virginia will falls to, and Base Blast not able to connect, and now Moonstyle is going to be the one forced to try to retreat. You do have to be careful with some of this damage still coming out from this Underlord, who will finally fall. But now 4k net worth lead off of all of that madness. in the favor of Mudboys. For the first time this whole series, we have a Mudboys player at the top of the net worth, and that is Yams on his level 30 Morphling, and Sweet Kumagoo just going to step up a little too far, looking for some vision. I have been that ancient apparition so many times, and it is so painful when you're like, I just need to get some vision for my team to protect our base, give us a little bit of space outside, and the lack of vision, the very thing you're trying to turn around, is what ends up leading you down the ball. Whew. So as the dust settles, that's just that last little thing away. Too late for the proper fight. 5k net worth lead on the side. Mudboy is going to be a Crystallis finish for Yams. I think this is the full data list on the way. Ginny Wolf has the Force Staff now. Yeah, Force Staffs for both supports, so they agreed with me that they needed a little more support utility. Crystallis ready on CAG as well. This is just going to be an absurd amount of damage from these two cores.
Scanning for enemies.
Moose Style working on the pipe. That should do a lot for this team to survive some of the damage that is being dealt. This is a game where you would love to have old Wraith Pact on your Underlord, because it's a very mixed damage coming out from PuppsPals. You've got lots of physical damage. I mean, I guess a decent
Pull roots and run!
Since they went a Gleipnir build. It does still have the Blaystone. And yeah, Team Presentation didn't go the Desolator build, went for the Basher. So, more magic damage favored, so I think the pipe looks particularly good for Moose Style in this game. So now Mudboy is going to smoke up, head into the triangle. Not going to find anything immediately, although maybe we'll find some couriers towards... Head towards the jungle next. Yams will show on the wave just to farm up a little bit. Looks like this smoke won't amount to much. Maybe it will just amount to some map control, get the outpost. March just being forced to hide and is now in the TT bottom that side instead. As they see this outpost getting taken, they can no longer safely be on this side of the map. Maybe thinking about a smoke for the Dire City now. You've got so much global presence, team presentation on messing with my brain. So much global presence that you don't need to smoke everybody to be able to have a smoke and get your entire team to a location. Like Dawnbreaker, Spirit Breaker, and Nature's Prophet can all connect with the rest of the team from anywhere on the map. So you can smoke with a couple heroes and make a 5-man play. But they're just gonna chill for now. Look for their next item timing. For Nature's, it's going to be... I assume this is a Scotty, but I don't see the rest of most of this career. Oh, it's a Sheepstick. Okay, I think we did see that before. So working on Sheepstick, the Sight of Ice, to try to control some of these dodgy high damage wards of Weaver and Morphling. That will be a pretty big game impact when that item is ready. I think just trying to finish that up on Mort while still retaining buyback. Now Sweet Kumagoo, oh no, same story other side of town. He's gonna get a BKB out of the Weaver, so doesn't feel too bad, although doesn't have buyback available. Still waiting on a Roach respawn. I imagine that's what Mudboys are thinking for their most important next timing, as Yams and Ziggy G have had plenty of space to farm, finished off the Satanic. Gonna go a Swift Blink next. Ziggy G still working on that. Daedalus also has a Mjolnir. I think that was Crystallis. Mort is
Dire's middle tower
push
is
in
under attack.
but no wraps left there. So Yam's gonna look for a kill on a J-Money. That damage is so insane, and nothing to hit with the Bloodstone. Means Yams is just gonna get this kill on Big Knives, does not have buyback, down for 90 seconds, gets a double kill with Mayday as well, but now has to be careful, is disarmed, tries to waveform away, tries to morph, but not enough. Morph picks up the godlike streak, Yams is gonna buy back, try to keep this fight going. Usal has to escape, that's probably your best option for getting Morphling back into this Rax push. With the G, you're just going to allow Yams to go to Outpost, and that's going to turn into another set of barracks for Mudboys. They may be looking at Megas here, but still 60 seconds with no left track. PuppsPals not interested in stepping up to fight, and who can blame them? 3v5 already been timed to be a block to ask, so Mega Creeps picked up from Mudboys. They are looking in great position to split this series, but here comes a huge charge from Henry VIII. So everybody into the Ace Class. Virginia will be able to step out for now. Here comes the non-break roll. Is that going to be enough to see the team turn into a kill on Big Knife? Goes down with Ice Blast pop. Henry VIII taken down, and Mort is dead. Ziggy G dishing out the damage with this Weaver. Mort no buyback. Henry VIII's no buyback. Yams is off on their own doing Roche in the meantime. So this is looking like curtains. This is looking like a split series. Mudboys, maybe we're starting to doubt them after that game 1. If you looked at how their first 2 rounds went, maybe you're thinking, oh, they played easier teams, that's why they have the better record. No, they're showing they deserve to be up here at the top. They are answering back in a huge way in this game 2 against PuppsPals, and looking to retain the top record in the Sange division. They've got the Aegis, 2 heroes still dead, 60 seconds in. J-Money will get this kill. I think that's going to be it. The Bloodstone's still not enough. BKB from Yams tears apart team presentation. Sweet Boomagoo, the only one left, and a good game, well played, will be called. Mudboys bounce back, split the series, 1-1. Mudboys are the ones walking out of here 7-1 on the season to keep their spot at the top. Man, that was an incredible series. Incredible games from both teams, for sure. Let me see, I think, well, let's talk about the series a little bit more, and then I think I'll offer up yeah, really impressive turnaround from Mudboys in this series and in this game. Like, they had the favored draft despite all of this global presence from PuppsPals. But the early lead from PuppsPals, this looked like PuppsPals was more ahead earlier than they were in game 1. And then eventually Morphling and Weaver, Ziggy G, and Yams turn things around and just get to their items. I want to see like where... That's the moment at 32. I forget exactly what happened there, but that's where things swap. Hello, hello. How is it going? Remind me your player name, because I can see your Discord name, but it... Awesome, awesome. Great. That's all good. What a series. How are you feeling after bouncing back in that second game? Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. No, I mean, I was interested in the drafts because game two, the first phase Dawnbreaker Nature's Prophet, I was just like, this goes against all of the like basic rules of drafting, of like you know where these heroes are going. There's technically versatility within the core rules, but like you know where they're gonna play these heroes, so it's not really versatility. They didn't pick a support, so you're letting them answer two cores, but it's so terrifying knowing how these players play these heroes that like how do you like is there an answer for that? And I felt like you guys found the answer of like Silencer is a great answer to the Dawnbreaker because you can cancel the Solar Guardian, and then having the Fiend's Gate on the Underlord, like that second phase I feel like was exactly what you needed to answer the opening of Dawnbreaker Nature's Prophet. Mm. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, the level 30 Morphling coming out. It's like, do you have to ban now two level 30 mids against your team just to be able to like force Yams onto something else? Um, it's scary stuff. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, sometimes just going with comfort is the name of the game in an amateur kind of tournament like this. Mhm. Yep. No, that's fine. I mostly just am interested in hearing your takes on the games. No, nothing specific that I'm looking for. Um, mhm. Yeah, I've never learned how to really play a micro hero, so I have a lot of respect for the people that know how to do it, because when you start doing stuff like that, it just looks unfair. Like, how come you get all of these units? I only have one. Like, how does your brain function in a way where you can make this work so well and get so much value out of having all of these units that you control? Oh.
We kind of ended up towards the end of that game making a lot of space where our Morphling went to Rat, and then they were making kind of space where NP went to Rat, and somehow we won that race. I don't know.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, simultaneously, Yams was pushing out the top lane, and then like their entire team was pushing out the bot lane, traded the tier 2s, traded the tier 3s, and I'm just like bouncing back and forth, and like, this Morphling on their own is taking the racks faster than the entirety of the Dire team. Like, what is happening? And because he was able to finish off the racks first, then came back, spun it into a fight the other way, and that really started the beginning of the end, I think. Whereas into that was like, it just felt like you guys had been coming back, and then it was like, oh, now you guys are ahead, storming through to the end. Like,
I think, yeah. I think my first like real like hopeful moment was when we got the early Aegis. Like, we got this Morphling solo Roche while we were kind of like losing a fight in mid, but we managed to, what's it called? What am I saying? We managed to distract the team. That's all I'm saying. And he got the Roche, and then suddenly it was like, now we can take fights. Now we can push into their space. Now we can take up their farm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a report from someone on Discord that they can't hear me on the stream, which is sad.
I fixed it now. Because somebody sent a message in Twitch chat as well. I forgot to unmute Discord on stream, so unfortunately we lost the beginning of the last minute or so they've been able to hear.
Yeah, that's all right. Just, the overthinking that first game draft, getting a little bit shook by the NP and by the Viper. We kind of overthought things and tried out some new ideas for team comp that isn't as reliable as putting our main players on comfort heroes and I don't know, trying to have fun with it. I feel like when I pick Silencer, I'm trying to have fun, and when I pick, I guess Primal Beast is really fun to play too. But I've been spamming Hoodwink in this league, and I'm tired of doing that.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to mix things up, find what's fun, because if you're having fun, like that's always what I've felt. And obviously it kind of feeds into each other, but like, I've always said the team that wins TI is the team that's having the most fun. Like, that's always how it seems.
Agree.
Partially because they're winning, but also because like they have just found it. It relieves all of the pressure when you're just having fun.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I'm sure you watch all the true sites and everything. It always seems like, there's something breaks in the minds of the team that's having fun, and they no longer worry. Mm-hmm. Whereas I've seen so many TI losers in those interviews. They're so crushed by everything, and they care so much, and they think so much, and you got to be a monkey like OG. You got to be monkey time. Exactly. I don't know. I don't know if there's any really much else that I have to offer. Fun times playing Dota.
I think the only other thing I'll ask is, with that win in Game 2, you guys, like, obviously rankings are a little wonky with how things have shaken out in our division, but you guys hold the best record in the division at this point at 7-1. So how are you feeling? Are you feeling like you guys are the team to beat? Are there teams that you haven't faced yet that you're worried about? Or
I think we worry every time. So I it's hard for me to think of ourselves as the team to beat because I know our team and I know how absurd that is. I will say the Mamba games, or maybe I shouldn't mention it, but that was a big blow. We were really feeling ourselves with the undefeated streak, and then we were obviously excited again to get another chance at being undefeated, and so it's hard to lose that first game. And that's, but we didn't get tilted, and that's good. We kept a positive mental attitude. And yeah, I you know what? It feels great to have a great record. It's very validating. And obviously, like, these other teams we're playing against are good. And so, that makes it even more satisfying to occupy maybe a targeted spot.
Mhm.
I'm excited for the next games.
For sure. I'm very excited to see how the rest of the games for this week play out and where the matchups fall for next week. And yeah, once again, absolutely great series. Thanks so much for joining me, and congrats on the win in game 2. Obviously split the series, so congrats all around for our teams in the series.
Yeah, thanks very much. And good. That was a good game, and great opponents. All right, well, goodbye now.
Awesome. Take care.
Take care.
All right. That is gonna do it for us tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. I think Fourth Spirit is still casting another series. Also, I wanted to say thank you, Permasneeze, for the raid. I think you guys were coming off the Team Dagon Press Buttons series, so hopefully that one was fun. Thank you so much for the raid. And now I'm gonna... Oh, I guess I should wait 5 minutes to do the raid. Yeah, I'm gonna wait so that for you guys it'll happen instantly. For me, I'm gonna wait 5 minutes so that you don't lose the end of the stream, and then we'll send you over to Fourth Spirit. They've got Takes Two to Tango versus Yukino Fukushu. I think they're probably in game 2 of that series. And again, thanks so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your night, or whatever time it is where you are, and enjoy this next WLDL series.